knock on the front door. His security guard comes to the door. He's like hacking, and Bo's sitting there like this. And the guy opens up the door. He's like, Bo Jackson, Bo Jackson's here. Rodney, I got Bo Jackson here. We're walking back in the house. Bo's like, you dumb mother sucker, you almost got us killed. I'm like, can you imagine?
I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life. Hey.
Boom! Coming in hot, Chickpea out here in Austin, Texas, with our boy Kevin Millar.
How?
I get a little uncomfortable when I do interviews. Oh my God, not a big deal.
There we go.
Go Irish.
Now we're talking, dude. It's good that you put a football helmet on because we're going to talk about that. But first of all,
Go ahead.
what are you doing there? What are you doing there?
Oh, are you kidding me, dude? I'm in Austin. I was down here for a heroic event, but also to see my son. And then I can't come down to Austin, Texas, without seeing Kev. So I called him. I'm like, bro. I said, Sarah and I are here for the day, and all of a sudden he rolled out the red carpet for us. It's like, come to the house. Let's go to the ranch. And by the way, we went over to his ranch, and it's incredible.
He's moving here, guys. I just want to break those. So, the podcast viewers, Sean Casey's officially a Cowboy. He's got a Longhorn today. He's done a lot of great things today. I will be honest with you, Chinch. So we're on this. It's like a little Polaris, a mule, which is like, you know, you just drive around the ranches on them. And Casey's in the front seat, and I'm driving, and Sarah and Gina in the back, and here come the Longhorns, right?
Dude, have you ever seen a Longhorn?
Not in person.
Okay, then go ahead.
I believe it.
So Casey's about 6'2", 225 to 255, depending on where he's at in his life. Right now, he looks about 219. I'm just guessing. He about
222.
I'm right. See that? I knew it, dude. He jumped in my lap. Next thing you know, I was drunk. They're coming on his side. The parents like, no, don't worry, dude. I said, they just attack a little bit when they're hungry. He's like, what? Seriously? Seriously, bro? Seriously? Bro, it was the greatest thing. Kids from Pittsburgh, lives in 4-degree weather.
Dude, he told me yesterday. He goes, dude, he wants me to feed a Longhorn. I'm afraid of dogs.
It's like feeding like Brian Urlacher when he had a bald head before Airport for Men, right? It's like feeding a monster. It's scary. But they eat out of your hand. They're so docile. So I want you guys to understand, Longhorns eat softer than your dog at home. They're like sweet, but they have these horns. If they just look left or right, they will absolutely ribcage you the way that John Cena did Case back in the day.
No, dude, I swear, Chinch. I've seen pictures of Kev's posted pictures. He's shown me, sent me some videos. But when you get next to these things, dude, they're the Longhorns, dude. They're so long, and it will stab you. But I did get out there. I put my hand out. I had to impress my wife,
He did,
and it ate food right out of my hand.
He got his hands dirty.
I feel incredible now. I feel like a man.
All right, good. You always say chase the fear, Casey.
That's right. I went right for it. I said, I'm going right for this Longhorn right here.
Oh my
and I fed the horses. We also walked up on some cows, deer we saw.
He's a cowboy now. I mean, we've had Steven Nelson out there, Rose, Camiotti, all of them, right? Ben, Prefield, Billy Lee, give it out for the MLB. But I'm going to tell you right now, this kid right here almost jumped in my lap. He was the first guy that was riding on my lap driving around the ranch. It was fun. You know, it was like Christmas goose in January.
Come on, Case. Case has a fear of animals. I can tell. I know.
No, it's not. I'm serious. It was dogs first, and then Longhorns.
But now you're in, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Like when you're around them, you see how awesome they are.
No, it was incredible. No, then as soon as I got out and got right in there with him.
I liked him better when he's fat. When he's fat, he had more balls. Now he's in shape, drinking water, Estancia. Everything's great.
Oh my God! It was incredible. And now I know when you say you go to your ranch, I feel
you get lost.
The peace out there.
Right?
There's so much peace. The sun's setting. It looks like you're on the show Yellowstone.
And if you're a kid under 20, there's no cell phones. I make the kids put the phones in. Adults we're allowed to because we're very important. But it's just different. It's not like I'm a big rancher. Or I got YouTube how to start a tractor for the first week. It took me a week to start the tractor. I'm like, oh my God. So it was like Cowboy Down.
No, but it's legit now, dude. I see on your social media, dude. You're like Roy Rogers out there. Your whole family's out there.
It just looks that way. It's not that way at all. I'm nervous wreck every time I go out there. I got high cholesterol too. But anyways.
There you go. Well, hey, it's great that you're here because you have a relationship with the guy we're about to talk about. Casey played with the guy we're about to talk about. A professional baseball player might become the head football coach of America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, in Deion Sanders, guys.
Did you shower with him?
Wow. I did. I did shower with
You
him.
son of a gun.
2001. I wouldn't say he's a professional baseball player about to become a professional football coach because he is one of the greatest football players of all time. So.
Did he wear his gold change in the shower? Would be the first question. You guys were thinking something else. I don't care about the something else. Did he wear his prime in the shower?
I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
So he went straight naked.
I think so.
No
I think so. Like
blame?
everybody would. Like
It's a
everybody
great question, I thought, Chinch.
That is a great question.
Well, so what are they saying, Chinch? I know he was saying, he was going to stay in Colorado, but what are they saying?
Well, yeah, if you're in Texas, you know these Cowboys fans. So Jerry Jones met with what's his name today?
Deion?
Who's it?
Deion?
McCarthy, and they mutually parted ways. Now, meanwhile, Jerry Jones didn't let him interview for the Bears job last week, so that's a whole one side of the story. That's enough Cowboys stuff. But then he already talked to Deion. They met today about the job. Adam Schefter, Deion Sanders, Jerry Jones have spoken about the Cowboys head coaching job.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Do you understand that he's got an absolute awesome house ranch out there in Dallas? Huge fisherman.
That's right.
I want to bring back something for you guys, if you guys don't mind. I have a video here. In February, I'm going to put my show readers on. You can buy them at Home Depot.
This guy, literally, his eyes are gone.
1.50s if you need them. I'll share them because I buy 6 at a time. February 26th, I want you to lock on this. 2016 at 12:37 p.m. What I'm about to show you is a young man named Deion Sanders who texted me and said, can you speak to I think they were 13 or 14U at that moment. They're playing tournament baseball in Austin to his baseball team. I go, absolutely. The only problem is, Deion, is I golf every day, so you're going to have to come to the golf course before intentional talk. He shows up. He had a van, awesome little pimped out van, exactly the way you'd want if you're Prime. They all get out of the van, and we go eat lunch in the back. I'm going to play you a little video. Who was in this video? You guys might have heard of him.
Nice.
Play Prime U, baby. This is my man, Kevin Millar, 15, baby. He just blessed us, man.
We got Lil 1-5 behind us, by the way. What position play?
Nim play everything.
Where's Nim at? Right here. There's Nim right there. That's Lil 1-5. He's going to take Pedroia's job.
Come here, Twin.
Twin, come over here.
Twin. We call him Twin and Nim. It's hard to know their names. We can't tell them apart. I can tell them apart, but we call them Twins and Nim.
There they are right there. These are all the boys club. Where's Lil Junior, by the way, with the fro?
Come here, Shador.
Sure, come over here.
You cookie monster.
Hey, this show hair right here. Rose,
This
you
is
can
what I
never
look
grow
like.
this.
This is what I used to look like back in the day.
That's little.
I'm bringing it back. Hey, hair club don't make black hair. I'm bringing it back.
Yeah, we do. We can bring it out the weave. All right, baby. Is that unbelievable? Shador, 9 years ago, I sent that to Deion. I had that video, and I sent that to him, and I said, bro, when they beat TCU Game 1, Colorado, it was like a great thing for football, for Prime, and I sent him this. I go, is this amazing, man? Congratulations. Obviously has both of his boys in the football side. They were playing right there on the same thing on the baseball side 9 years ago, and I thought it was the coolest moment. It did. It made me feel happy for him for being a dad.
Dude, and to see Shador, I mean, that's 9 years ago. He's probably 13 years old.
He was 13. I just did the math.
Yeah, he's 13 years old right there, and might be the first pick of the NFL draft, and Deion might be the coach of the Cowboys. Dude, I am so fortunate I got to play with some great players over the years. Junior and Poppy and Schefter.
Now, honestly, I've heard nothing but unbelievable things as Prime, as a teammate.
One of the greatest teammates I've ever had. One of the greatest teammates I've ever had. One of the nicest guys. What's funny about Prime is he's Prime when the cameras come on. Away from that dude, he's reading scripture. He's locked in. He's picking a word. He'll break down I saw him break down the word love for 2 weeks. 17 translations. The Greek, the Latin, all this. And the guy's just one of the greatest guys going. So anything Deion Sanders does, I'm a Buffalo fan. I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm a Jackson State fan. I'm whatever a Prime fan is, but that's a great video.
Isn't it funny though?
That's
like what you just said though, like on camera he's Prime. It's like being around Kid Rock, right? His name's Bobby. I go, I'm not calling you Bobby, dude. You're Kid Rock to me, right? Like,
no, you said you're not calling Kid Rock.
I mean, I'm not calling you Kid Rock. No. I said I'm not calling you Bobby because I know you as Kid Rock. Like, I mean, yeah, we're boys now, but you're not Bobby. You're Kid Rock because we're used to the bang your head and F you and let's rock and let's go do push-ups. And then you meet him at his house. He's making homemade chocolate chip cookies. We've got sloppy joes. He's showing us his first concert in Detroit. And I brought Roy Halladay and Vernon Wells to his house. And it was the coolest day ever because we were going to take BP, but he didn't make the game. And anyways, I walk into his house. Chris Chelios is over there writing his Hall of Fame speech. And we're down in the studio till 2 a.m. and I'm looking at Roy Halladay, rest his soul. I'm like, dude, if it gets weird over there, I don't know what's going to be over there, right? You just hear all the stories. It was the coolest night in the world. But going back, like, these guys are human beings. They're just guys, man. They're dads. Yeah. And that's when you get a chance to meet these guys, and they're better as people than they are that we're used to seeing on stage or, you know, doing the dance like we've all done, Prime's dance. Yeah. But, like, it's fascinating because I've heard nothing but unbelievable things. Deion Sanders, his teammate and a baseball player, I'm like, you have to be able to do what he did. Like, guys loved him. Not only was he the fastest, the best, or whatever, but he's a great dude, and it makes it so much better because we've all met the other side. Like, you meet your hero, and he's not the best guy. You're like, okay, I'm going to root for the Notre Dame. Here we are. Fumble from the 40-45. Right? So it will ruin you on the other side. It'd be like you meet Jeter as a Yankee fan your whole life, Chinch, and you meet a jerk. You're like, oh, God. Not Derek, but he's unbelievable, Derek. I'm just saying as an example.
Who's the guy that you met? And the one guy, like, you know, obviously met a lot of people, a lot of different people. Who's the one guy you're like, you wanted to meet, and you were like, was there anybody that you met and you're like, oh,
you know, that's a good question, like that, where like you kind of frown when you walk out the door.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
I mean,
or if that didn't happen, who's the one guy you met and you're like, that was awesome?
Yeah, well, like Devontae Adams this year, Tahoe I could bring up a lot because that event, there's like 90 celebrities. I'm like the 91st. Where you beg to get invited every year. And like, if I had a childbirth, honey, I'm sorry, I'm missing that because I can't miss Tahoe. I'll never go again. You meet a lot there. A lot of the football players at times could be like, not the friendliest, right? Like, you're like, oh, that's weird. Like, no one cares about you anymore. Let's just be cool, right? But most of the dudes, you get them without that shield, right? So as a celebrity status, and I always hate that word celebrity, but like, different dudes have different status, right? Like, you and I can go to Starbucks. We're not going to get hounded. Maybe in Cincinnati, I'm an extra Hall of Famer.
No.
But,
not there yet.
You know what I'm saying? There's guys that can't go anywhere. Like, if you're Michael Jordan or if you're Derek Jeter, I mean, think about it. Tiger Woods. Like, they're great dudes behind the scenes. And Tiger's not probably the easiest dude ever. But, like, everybody that knows Tiger says awesome. He loves the Dodgers. He wants to talk baseball. So it's getting them in the right environment where they can trust you, right? Because it's something people want something from you. Whether it's a pitcher or not, it doesn't matter. But when you get them and they're normal, like you're Eddie Vedder's. Right. I mean, you know, like Eddie's so cool, he doesn't even know he's Eddie. Right. He's the coolest guy ever. Right? So, like, that makes it so much fun. But Devontae Adams this year, his first time met him, you know, and he's a new guy and talk. He was the coolest. We sat out there by the bonfire just talking. I'm like, there was nothing more special than that backdoor throw shoulder from Aaron Rodgers for the Packers for many years. Like, I'm like, Devontae Adams is the coolest dude in the world.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So it's like so refreshing because we see the highlights of him maybe getting a personal foul or doing something that, you know, guys like crown for about 1 month you'll hear. But I'm like, no, dude, he could make a mistake or somebody can make a mistake and snap, but they're good. Most of them are good dudes. And that's what's refreshing to kind of hear.
Dude, that makes me think of last when I was with the Yankees, we're playing the White Sox, and I look over and Jerry Reinsdorf's talking to Bill Cowher. Well, dude, I'm you know, obviously a Steelers fan. Those are my years. Like, you're in high school, you're in college.
He's the man.
Car power, you know, you're all fired up. And I was like, you know, never really met him. Like, do I want to go say hi? Because I just want him to be a good guy. Yeah. So I was like, I told Booney, I was like, I'm going to go say hi to Bill Cowher real quick. You take over the batting practice stuff. You
got flips for Judge. Yeah, you got it. We're going to be doing this one and this one. We're going to launch, you know, whatever he does at 6'7", 300.
So I go over to Cowher. I'm like, hey, you know, Bill, dude, you couldn't have been nicer. I was like, yes! And I had the greatest conversation with him, going back to, hey, I was Troy Polamalu and all those guys back in the day, you know, and he was so cool. But I love it. You're right. When you meet guys that you don't know. You might see them on TV. You're like, I hope they're good guys.
Mike Tomlin, have you met him?
Yeah, Tomlin, great
Awesome.
guy, awesome guy, awesome guy. As a matter of fact, a guy that I went to high school with named Terry Hammonds.
Shout out to Terry Hammonds. You're listening.
T Ham,
Hambone.
Terry Hammonds and Tomlin were roommates at William and Mary, and they became really good buddies. That was like an into Mike Tomlin, but a great guy.
Wait, let me flip it on you guys. What makes a good fan? And what if you could give advice? Most of the people listening to us are fans. What should they not do? What's the number one rules? Don't do. Don't take a picture of my kids. Don't bother me when I'm eating. And what makes a good
I'll tell
fan?
you, and you're involved in this, Chinch, and I got to be honest with you. You're probably not like this, but you're involved. A good fan would be like my wife works for the Mets, and then you start taking selfies at the Mets at Citi Field. and Chinch is a diehard Yankee fan. Let me tell you, shout out to all that's listening. Chinch is a diehard Yankee fan just because lovely wife is Mets. And Chinch never liked Uncle Kevin. I'm gonna tell you, I walked in that network the first time.
That's not true. That is not true.
No, but it's a great question because see, Chinch is that I love, and he's obviously similar. I love to make people happy, right?
Yeah.
Like I would never. Yeah. The drunk fan is the annoying one. The one in Boston, it's 1:32, you're at the bar, and he's at his fourth beer. Now he's going to show up from his friends and maybe tell you suck. Okay, got it, sir. You're right. Yeah. But that being said, the drunk guy can get a little annoying, but most of the time, dude, they want a picture. They want a signature. Like, you try to make them feel okay to ask. It's not easy to ask somebody for an autograph or a picture, right? So I forgot who told me that. Like, make them feel comfortable. Most of the time, I'll even say, you can see them with their phone in their hand.
Right.
Like, hey, dude, let's take a phone or let's take a picture. And they're like, what, for reals? I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, he's had that thing on camera, on selfie for the last 10 minutes. So if you just treat the people normal, then there's some normalcy. If you treat them a little bit big leaguey, then it becomes that annoying scene. So I just think I've never really been in that level to really have to be, Bo Jackson, real quick. I'll tell you a quick story. And
I want to hear it. While we're talking about two-way stars.
Yeah, dude. Hey, Bo Jackson and I were close, still close. Funny, and we were like teammates at the Children's Miracle Network. Really? We do every year in Hawaii. Yeah, so team baseball, we'd be teammates or whatever. Some years he'd be with Steve Young and team football, but he was both sides if he could, but he was awesome, funny. I met him through Alex Fernandez.
Did you play golf with him?
Played golf with him.
Can he crush a golf ball?
Unbelievable.
Seriously?
Like he hits hybrids like you and I got to hit two drivers. So he's everything you would think Bo Jackson was, just better than everybody. So Alex Fernandez and him played together in Chicago with the White Sox. So I'm a young rookie or second year maybe with the Marlins. So Alex Fernandez was like making $7 million. 5 years, so he's $35 million deal. Like a big, we're making $132,000. Like, oh my God, I got $19,000 in bank. I'm like Rick James. Let's go to Outback. Blooming onions for everybody. So I would go down to Alex's house for a couple weeks before. It was like this big mansion in Miami. Well, then he goes, Bo's coming over. They were buddy. I'm like, who? Bo Jackson? What? First time I ever met Bo. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever, right? So we developed this relationship. Then we played in all these things together. Well, he comes out to Austin. He's like, hey, dude, I'm going to come out to Austin. I'm doing this bike for Bama when they had that hurricane. That's right. He was riding this bike to raise money. I had this neighbor, Rodney Hunt, next door to me. African-American dude, awesome dude. Wasn't in town a whole lot, but always wanted me to go check his house. But it was like this mansion. I'm like, it's like my guest house, 13,000 square feet. Sure, let's go party at Rodney's house. But Bo's in town. I take him out to eat the steakhouse. Now, Bo Jackson is different. We're at Steiner Ranch here in Austin. They only know George Strait, Noel Ryan, by God, right? We walked in and the entire restaurant stops.
Really?
Like the double earrings, Bo, it just stops. Like there's a different aura when he walks. So we're eating around, we're talking like this and we're hanging out. Well, this guy comes over, nice guy, like, can I get an autograph and stuff? And Bo's right in the middle of eating, right?
Oh boy.
Bo's like, Can't you see, I'm eating it, and I'm like, oh God, here we go. But that's a different type of celebrity scene. So he deals with, until I'm done eating, he needs some space. And I understand it from his side. From my side, I'm like, oh, I just signed an autograph. But if he signs it, it's like a circle in the restaurant. He never finishes his meal, so they live that. So after that dinner, I said, I'm going to go introduce you to Rodney because Rodney's a very wealthy man and he's raising some money. This would be great. We're not even going to say a word. No one knows he's here. So he's staying with me. We get home. It's about 11 o'clock at night. We walk over to Rodney's house, and it's this mansion. So knock on the front door. His security guard comes to the door. He's like packing.
What?
And Bo's sitting there like this. And the guy opens up the door. He's like, Bo Jackson? Bo Jackson's here? Rodney, I got Bo Jackson here. Can you imagine at like 11, 12 p.m., Millar comes up with Bo Jackson to your door. Rodney comes over the road. He's like, hey, it wasn't even like I was there. They're talking, whatever, 15, 20 minutes, whatever happened. We're walking back in the house. Bo's like, you dumb mother sucker. You almost got us killed. I'm like, can you imagine Millar and Bo getting mowed down just right on the porch? Just as a nice gesture. I would have been the other guy. You never want to be the other. Bo Jackson dies and the other guy, right? It's like when a plane goes down and there's a celebrity fight. Oh, yeah, there's 6 others. You never want to be the other, right? So I almost got Bo killed trying to get him some money for the bike for Bama, and that's how we get in all this stuff. I'm like, I never thought of it that way. We almost got shot. It's unbelievable. Can't make it up.
That's such a great story.
You dumb motherfucker. You almost got us killed. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'd have been the other. At least your name would have been on paper.
Oh my God! So, dude, speaking of, I want to throw this out there because it's worth it because we're talking about Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson. I always want to meet Bo too. Obviously, you're buddies with Bo. I'm like, I want to just cross paths with Bo. 2001, we're playing the White Sox, and I'm hitting third or whatever. And, you go to your helmet, you're getting ready to put your gloves on. I'm like, oh, my gloves are up in my locker. So I bolt upstairs, go to my locker, getting my gloves out. I turn around. Nobody's in the clubhouse, but there's 2 guys sitting over here talking. Deion is on the DL. He's talking to Bo. The game started. Bo came in when the game started, talked to Deion. I'm like, and I literally like, I don't care if I'm up. I got to go talk to these guys. So I go over and Deion's like, Case. Prime's like, Coach, you ever met Bo? I'm like, no, I never met Bo. And then went over to, Bo was like, hey, man, nice to meet you. And I literally was, I think I just stood there. And I realized, there's no doubt I'm on deck right now. But it was just cool, dude.
It is.
Talk about Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson. Like,
There's a precedent.
There's a precedent. They're all rising figures. They both played. They were both all-stars and all-pros in 2 sports. I mean, come on.
Dude, it's like Tiger, bro. TaylorMade was in town doing this WB, the match play event, Dale match play in March. Mm-hmm. And TaylorMade buddy of mine said, hey, come down. The guys are there. It's like the 60 top golfers for this match play thing. I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. Well, here's like John Rahm and Dustin Johnson. We're in this trailer. And I'm just standing against the wall like, this is kind of cool, right? There's Rory, John Rahm, Dustin Johnson, all the TaylorMade guys. And then here comes Tiger into the same little trailer.
Did you know he was coming?
Kind of, and not really hoping he came, but no one knew. When he walked in, I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter. It's like Michael Jordan. There's those 2 guys, they stop a room. Jeter's event in Vegas. Everybody's there. Griff and everybody, right? When MJ walked in the room, bro, it stops. There's just that different level,
and even the guys like the Griffies,
even the big boys, it just stops. It's like game over. Yep, there's MJ and there's Tiger, and Bo is in that category because your dad knows him, we know him, our kids know him. It's like fascinating how you can touch in PrimeTime. Same thing. Deion Sanders now has made another world,
dude. I got a great story too with that same thought in mind. The 2004 All-Star game. I'm sitting there. I'm talking to Moisés Alou at the locker. Where there's Bonds is right there. There's Piazza. There's Pujols.
Sorry about the year, Chinch.
Right? 04. Right? That's right. 04 right here. We're talking about there 3 games. Yeah, no, we do. They were just up. Don't let us win this one right here. You know what I'm saying? So, dude, we're sitting there talking to Moisés Alou, best players in the world. All of a sudden, you can hear a pin drop. My back's to the entrance. You can hear a pin drop in the clubhouse. And everyone, I'm talking to Moisés Alou. We just kind of stopped talking. We turn around. Muhammad Ali just walked in.
Oh, dude.
So Ali walks in. No. He's got a little bit of Parkinson's. But he comes in and he starts like jabbing with Bonds, I think, like that. And dude, you want to talk about, I've never seen some of the greatest athletes in the world. The record played, stopped, boom. Stop, and then it got quiet.
100%.
It got quiet. It was almost like, it gets quiet.
It's like, because no one knows what, everybody's like, the manners. It's like mom and dad, oh, yeah. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
In those kind of scenes.
Yeah, what do we do now? What do we do now? But before we let Kev go, I got one thing I just want to
go. Yeah, Case Chinch said that this is a damn podcast. We gotta don't give me that shit, Chinch, unless you're trying to go to bed. Probably 3 in the morning.
Dude, so I want to talk to you a little bit because you just did it. I was interested in this because you just did a speech for like 500 high school coaches here in Texas, and I want to know, did your speaking rate go up? Because I watched the 04
documentary. It's called The Comeback.
Was that Bill Simmons did that?
No, that was the Barnaby Brothers.
Okay, the Barnaby Brothers. Okay, yeah. So the Barnaby Brothers did this on Netflix, and I watched it, and it was
called
basically
The Comeback, guys. Make sure you watch it.
Called The Comeback. It's basically the Kevin Millar documentary. I'm like, how did Kevin become so popular in 2004? I didn't even know. When I watched this documentary, they didn't even talk about Big Papi or Manny Ramirez.
We've already heard those stories.
It was like Moneyball. They're like, hey, listen. It was Hatterberg and Ricardo Rincon were the reason they won 20 games.
You hear Hudson Veer or Mulder once. Yeah, I'm like, just Billy and Hatterberg.
I'm like, I had no idea the 04 Red Sox jumped on Millar's back, and that's the only reason they won.
I carried him with the walk. That guy just in my head. Every actually was a good take. I'm like, the ball's up my face. I didn't laugh like a QT center. It was like,
did you like how it came out? Did you like how it came out, Kev?
So when they asked about doing this documentary, right? They're going to do a documentary on the Red Sox. I'm like, oh boy. So we've already heard that Millar walked and Robert's still second and Papi does Papi, right? I was like, what's going to be different about it? And he said, we're going to get an 03 team. And I said, you know what, dude? I'm in. And the reason why I say that, because that 03 team, Gray Little, I loved. He's a great man.
Dude, they loved Grady Little, right? You guys loved him.
We absolutely loved Gray Little. And listen, we didn't do our job to close out that game up 5-2, 2 outs in the 8th, right? People forget that game, Pedro Martinez on the mound, who's top 10 pitchers in the world ever, the history of this game. Put him wherever you want, 1 to 10, 5, whatever. My point is, he's our dude. We didn't have a closer that year. We had a bullpen by committee. So Alan Embry and Mike Timlin kind of mix and match. My point is, we don't get the job done, right? He gives up an 0-2 hit to Matsui, doubles down the line, a bloop here and here, there, and tip your hat to the Yankees. What an amazing game, tied up 5-5. We end up losing the game. My point is, if he took Pedro Martinez out, and let's just say Alan Embry gives up a 2-run home run, or Mike Timlin gives up 2, the first question he's getting is, how do you take out Pedro Martinez in a Game 7, right? That's just sports. At that moment, to this day, I thought it was the right decision to leave Pedro in. We didn't get the job done, and Grady got fired immediately. Watching the documentary, it hurt my feelings for him as a person because Gray Little is a great human being. Cared about people, cared about families, treated everybody awesome. His nickname was Country. He didn't have that East Coast throw a telephone and media wanted to see him get mad but no, that wasn't who he was, man. And so he was true to who he was, lost his job, and in that documentary, it kind of came off for his sake, like, oh my God, he was just not knowing what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. We didn't have 42 trotting out Mariano Rivera. Right. We got Keith Folk in 04, and we got Schilling, but that 03 team, at that moment, we broke a record for, I think, runs scored, and our lineup 1 through 9. Billy Miller won a batting title in 2003, hitting 9th. Like, no one wins a batting title hitting 9th, and you can't even name one. We had such a great team and a great group that they kind of brought back some great memories of how that team was assembled in 04. Now, you bring in Francona. We didn't skip a beat because he was awesome. You add Folk, who was awesome, and then Schill, obviously, in a big game. So I appreciate that part of it. It brought back great memories, and I thought they did a great job. The brothers, Nick and Barnacle Brothers, they were awesome. So it really did come out great because you never know what's going to come out. You talk for 4 hours. They ask you questions, but I will tell you this. The first question or into it was, I want to take it. You don't know what question they're going to ask you. He goes, I want to take it back to Dan Patrick. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay. And I, for 20 years, have been telling the story of who do you think is going to be throwing you the ball in 2004 from shortstop to first? And I said, A-Rod. Well, he goes, that wasn't the question. I'm like, what are you talking about? What was the question? The question was, who do you want to throw you the ball from shortstop to first base? And I said, A-Rod. That's when I said, oh, well, that's when Nomar, obviously, feelings weren't great at that moment. And then they spun it right away after that interview. Cowboy down, goes against a teammate. Sports Center's coming in. So Nomar calls me. How do you say you want A-Rod? And all the stuff, because at that moment he was getting traded. We were getting A-Rod maybe. And I'm assuming I answered, like, who do you think's going to throw him? So then it all made sense why Nomar, had his feathers ruffled.
Right.
And why our relationship kind of struggled at times during that moment, because he's going through pressures of maybe getting traded from the Red Sox, which is like trading Ted Williams at that time.
Right.
And so it was fascinating. It brought back a lot of memories, but I thought they did a great job.
Yeah. Well, when you look back, when you look back at that team, why were you guys so close? Because you look back at that team like, wow, that was a close team.
We had just that special group that cared. And every year you went spring training. Of course, the deal's the winter championship, winter World Series. We all start out 0-0. You look around, dude, and it's just like in life. And I always say, you always got dudes pulling on a different rope, right? You got a selfish dude worried about his stats. You got a selfish pitcher worried about his stuff. You got somebody, and then you just know it's not going to work. That group of guys, because there was 5 of us non-tendered, Todd Walker in 03, and then we got Mark Bellhorn in 04. But you had so many baseball players. We had our stars. We had our Schillings, and our Poppy turned into a star, but he was non-tendered from the Minnesota Twins in 03. Obviously, Bill Miller. Nobody wanted him. He was non-tendered from the Cubs because he had a broken kneecap. So we had so many guys that cared about the game, cared about each other. We were all each other's hitting coaches. If Case was struggling, we were on top step. Veritek and I in his suite with a pizza box in our underwear one morning worrying about Bellhorn struggles. Like, we cared about each other. And that's a big deal. We were not the best players, but I always say we were the best team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you get like a Bronson Royal that throws 88 and people, like, he didn't miss a start. Like, think about where we're at now. Like, we had 5 starting pitchers that did not miss a start the entire year. Derek Lowe, Tim Wakefield, obviously Schilling and Pedro. It was a group that really pushed each other. Schill and Pedro pushing who's the ace. Awesome. You had Poppy and Manny push each other. Who could hit more homers? Awesome. You had me and Trot trying to hit like Manny and Poppy. Awesome. Right? Johnny Damon, he was just.
What was Johnny like?
He was the toughest teammate I've been around.
Really?
Think about it. 14 or 15 years straight of 140 plus games.
Wow.
Whatever those numbers are. Every day he posted up. He blew his shoulder out in Toronto, hit the wall, had to get a cortisone shot after the game. We were playing the New York Yankees the next day. We're facing Randy Johnson. Now, lefty on lefty, God doesn't want to face Randy Johnson, okay? It's just an intimidating look. It's weird. He's throwing a million, and he's not very good looking at that moment, right? Johnny Damon was out of the lineup the next day, and Gabe Kapler was leading off. And Johnny went into the office and said, no, I'm playing today. Now, he just had a cortisone shot 24 hours ago. You're supposed to have 3 days, blah, blah, blah. Johnny said, no, I'm in. My team needs me. No, Frank. I was like, we're going to let Cap play. You're going to just give it. Nope. That was Johnny Damon, bro. Wow. He wasn't there for his stats. He was there because I'm going to break 4 bats. There's going to be a 9-pitch at bat. I might fist one over the second base head. I might homer with one hand. If you swing with 2 hands, you hit 40 a year. He hit 20 one-handed home runs. But Johnny Damon was one of the toughest teammates I've ever been around. And that he was awesome.
Do you think he's a Hall of Famer? He almost has 3,000 hits.
You look at the numbers.
I got
his numbers.
How many years am I off on that? Of 140 plus games?
Well, first of all, let me tell you this. Yes, the 140 is extremely, insanely, amazingly impressive. Also impressive, at 37 years old for the Rays, he played 150 games and stole 19 bases.
People don't know that.
At 37.
You think Johnny's the goofy, funny, nice guy? By the way, the most kindest human being. I've never seen him say no to an autograph. Ever. David Ortiz never said no to an autograph. We had a group of guys that were out there to the bars. We were normal dudes. We were not 5 different limos coming in the back door like Santa Claus. I mean, you get to a celebrity status that we're talking about, like DJ or Tom Brady can't just roll in, right? But we had guys that were stars, but we were kind of normal. We weren't. We were like all 5'10" to 6'1". It wasn't like this 6'5"
monsters.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you called yourself idiots.
Idiots with
Yeah, you
bad
called yourself
bodies.
idiots, and everybody
We
loved
just
it.
play
It's
ball,
great.
right?
How many hits did he have,
Yeah.
Chinch? Because I think it's like 20.
How many
2700,
hits?
2,800.
2769.
2769.
Dude, he's
2,700.
so close on that fringe.
Yes.
You can talk
Dude,
about guys
he
like
really
him
is.
and Joey Votto and like Brian McCann.
Lance Berkman.
Berkman.
How's Berkman?
There's
on
so
it?
many guys that when in our generation, like you look. I'll start with Brian McCann. About a couple weeks ago, we were playing that Pro Cup, that Smoltz, this Ryder Cup thing. But I looked at B-Mac. I go, bro, you're like a Hall of Famer. That position, like you look at his numbers, and the shift kind of hurt him.
Yeah.
Back in,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Yankees. But B-Mac was like a 260, 70 hitter.
With
Some pop,
some
hit
thunder.
third and fourth with the Braves. Man, at 20 years old, he's catching Smoltz.
Yeah.
Like as a hometown kid, like longevity. So it's, he probably could play a couple more years, but like he said, that shift was miserable. It wasn't fun hitting a line drive up the middle of the Yeah. You might as well try hitting homers. All right, I'm going to hit 212 now. Right? Like, can you imagine? Like, you can't even stay inside the ball because they're there.
I know. Well, he was hitting those bullets to right, and
Second baseman
it's
right.
all, he's right in front of right field. It's over.
I did a game, dude, had Devers was hitting. It was 2 years ago before the shift thing, and I looked out there. There was 7 dudes on the other side, the entire diamond, 4 outfielders. It almost didn't look right.
Yeah.
Like, it was. Like, what are you going to – everybody said, why should you bunt? Oh, yeah, okay, so you're going to go to the game with your son with Barry Bonds. You want Barry Bonds to bunt 4 times? No, dude. You want to hit one on the
Right.
the water.
The seats.
So it's one of those things. But there's some fringe guys like Hall of Famers and Johnny Damon. I'll tell you, he was the best leadoff hitter I've seen besides Ricky Henderson.
Wow. That's saying something. Something.
Right
And was that the year when Johnny threw the ball in and Manny dove?
Manny dove web jump. Only guy didn't play Manny web jump from I was at pitcher's mound. I think Newman hit it for the Orioles. We're like 4-4-4-4. Johnny throws it in. Who might be right-handed? All these years we don't know if he threw lefty or right. But he threw lefty. But I said maybe you're righty. That being said, he threw a ball and Manny dove and cut it off from the outfield. First time, and we just like, what just happened? Da-da-da, da-da-da. Chinch was editing right there for you to come back there.
Well, I probably was editing that highlight back then.
So good.
Yes. This is so great. Hey, I just want 2 words from you, Kevin. First, Pete Alonso will be playing for the... Tune into Intentional Talk next week. We'll find out.
I mean, why wouldn't he be? I think he'll be with the Mets.
Yeah.
But lock in on his numbers. People don't give him enough credit. And defensively, he has played his way into a great defensive first baseman. Works very hard at it. I think he's a factor. I would put him at first base for the Red Sox for a 3-year high annual salary and let him hit 45 to 50 in that environment. Just a little bit of a change scenery. I mean, Costas is an unbelievable young player and a great hitter. Is going to have a great career. But there's these things you could, you need a star in that kind of a market. And I'll just say it being a Red Sox homer, which I am I?
Yeah, you are.
But I think that would be a fun place for him. I mean, you got Bregman out there also, so I know that was more than 2 words.
I like that. So what about Bregman was my
I
other
think
question.
ends up in Detroit with the Hinch relationship. If you were to ask me, where I want him to end up is in Boston. So one of those 2 guys, I was hoping.
Dude,
but I think Bregman would be perfect.
I mean, with that swing with the wall.
I just think you can put him at second base. You can put him anywhere in the infield. If Devers wants to slide over to first for a little bit, but Devers has turned himself into a great defender also. So it's a fine thing. But he's a baseball player. Those are the markets. I need ball players, dude. I need dudes that care. It's a hard game, but give me everything you have, and you're going to succeed.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's a good point about Alonso too. 150 games a year, that guy plays. Boston would.
He doesn't get enough credit. Like the Mets, if I'm the Mets, I don't let him go.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
If he's out there and you're asking a question for something different,
yeah,
you can put him anywhere in any team, and I think they're going to be happy. But he's just one of those guys that people don't realize how good he is and how good he is defensively.
Well, you guys are good, by the way. And by the way, fans at home, I'll say it. I'm sure you've heard it before. How they are on TV is exactly how they are off the TV. They are both these great people. And I miss you, Kevin. I haven't seen you in a while, but I love you. I'm glad we got to hang out.
See, that's what happened. I feel like we see every day when I watch your podcast.
Yeah.
Well,
on the internet.
I want to know one thing before we go. So, is your keynote rate up because of this documentary?
I became real famous, Sean. I didn't realize I was a movie star. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I played golf with Trump, so I can get you pardons. And, you know, I mean, if you need Manfred's cell phone number, I got baseball. And now I'm a movie star, so I'll trade you like Affleck for who do you got? Who's the most famous guy on your cell phone right now?
Beautiful. All right.
You never get asked questions. I'm going to interview you. Who's the most famous guy right now on your cell phone?
I would say it's a toss-up between Pedro Martinez. I got to put him up there. And Jamie Foxx.
I love me some Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Hey, I've been around. He's an awesome dude.
That's right. Because what's your boy Ossico was boys with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, my brother's got a buddy who is like the
I went
babysitter to the
Foxx's
stars. So
party
he works
that
with
night
those
in San Diego because of Ossico. In L.A. the next night. His buddy.
Jamie's awesome.
There you go. What a talent. Maybe the most. Actually, we were watching TV the other day, and Jess goes, "Is Jamie Foxx the most talented person in Hollywood?"
Yeah, piano, voice, actor,
Yeah.
funny, can make you happy. You know, that's the way Casey would be if he was a movie star.
We got a lot done to him.
He's the shade lighter. He's the shade lighter. He's from Pittsburgh.
Casey's-
We'll get him out here tanning. And
That's right. There's no sun. There's no
Well,
sun.
he put sunblock on. Hey, it was 38 degrees when he sat in my lap feeding the longhorn.
Brother, listen.
Nice.
Appreciate you.
Dude, I love this.
Times.
I'm so excited.
We're having a great time down here in Austin, bro. You got to get down here. Millar's got 17 houses. He's got 17
I'm a real
houses.
estate mogul. I got double wide. I got tiny home.
No, true story.
Rental.
True story.
I believe it. I know. It's like a compound. You're like David Koresh or something.
All right,
boys.
Love you, brother.
Have a great rest of the night. I love
Go
you.
Mets.
See you, buddy.